So how do you calculate pain and suffering damages? Pain and suffering damages are what we call non-economic damages. Damages for which there is no mathematical formula to guide a jury, an insurance adjuster, or an attorney, or an injured person in putting a number on it. There's no formula at trial or at any other point where a judge tells a jury, a certain type of injury is worth this, or a certain pain is worth that, or because a person can no longer do certain things, a case is worth that. It's ultimately up to what your jury determines collectively your pain and suffering is worth. Now, as attorneys, insurance adjusters who've been doing this for years and years and decades, one of the resources that we have is our own personal experience. So having negotiated and settled thousands upon thousands of injury claims over the years, we have a pretty good idea of at least the range that certain cases with certain types of injuries and certain treatment histories are typically worth. We also have a pretty good idea of what juries award for certain types of cases. Every time there's a jury verdict in the state of Florida, details about that case and the results of that verdict, whatever it may be, are published in a periodical called the Florida Jury Verdict Reporter. And at TrialPro, one of the things that we do is we regularly review what juries award around the state and different areas of the state for certain types of injuries. All attorneys can really access this database. Insurance adjusters have access to this database. So what I find is that usually when it's time for me to discuss a possible settlement of a claim with an insurance adjuster or a defense attorney, we're not that far off on at least what we think the range of a certain type of case is. If you have an arthroscopic shoulder surgery, we could probably agree that typically the low end of that case might be 60, 70, the high end of that might be 150. Now, obviously, there could be other aggravating or minimizing factors that affect the value that could even push it higher or lower. But we might agree that that's a general range, and then part of my job as your attorney is to explain all the distinguishing factors why not only is our case toward the high end of that range, but is far past that range. Clear liability on the vehicle that hit you, no prior medical history of shoulder pain, severe crash with a lot of damage, so it's obvious the crash caused our shoulder injury, treated with the best doctors in town, MRIs showed a clear tear. As a result of the shoulder injury, you're limited in what you can do anymore. You can't enjoy life the same way that you were prior to the accident. You can't do things the same way. You can't do certain activities at all. I wish I could give you a clear explanation of what pain and suffering is worth and how it's calculated, but really all I can do is sort of talk through the many different factors that are taken into account when putting a value on a pain and suffering claim. Every person's different, every client's different, everyone's pain experience and injuries are unique to them. One of the things that we do for every client when it's time for us to advance your claim is we personalize the claim. Part of our job is to explain your specific situation. How are your injuries impacting your life, impacting your family's life? What type of activities are you not able to do anymore? What type of activities maybe you still do, but now they take you longer, or now they're painful to do them? These are issues that we work closely with our clients to flesh out. In my experience, the more detail we can provide about your injuries and your pain, the better job we'll be able to do when I'm fighting with the insurance adjusters at the end of your case, or when we're presenting your case to a jury. I'll be happy to speak with you very candidly about your claim, what I think your claim is worth, what I think your pain and suffering is worth, what I'd expect an insurance adjuster to offer, what I think we might have a chance to ask a jury for. So I won't pull any punches, and I'll be happy to talk with you candidly. Chat with us through our website at trialpro.com, or feel free to call us around the clock at 1-800-TrialPro.